first, Aria.
Cool. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen. This is the new portion of our show where we are each, the four of us, going to bring a topic to discuss here, break it down amongst the boys, and come up with either a decision, a unanimous decision, a solution, or just talk for fun. So I'm going to start us off, if that's all right. And my topic for this week, gentlemen, is if you could be a Star Wars... Buddy, this is a little bit tough for you.
Go fuck yourself, buddy.
If you could be a Star Wars character, who would you be? Like, you could be dropped into that universe and you become that character. Who would you be? Now,
even really if you die or not, would you technically die
would
still?
you take the destiny of them in the series?
Oh, that's a good point. No, you're in control of your own destiny. You start at, like, the beginning of that character's
bad or
arc
good
that we know of.
Villain or hero?
Yeah, villain or hero, whoever you want to be.
Okay.
And so, like, really think about it, though. Like, don't just go for the most powerful person. Like, who would be the most fun to be? Like,
I already know.
Go. Who do you
Darth
got?
Maul.
Darth Maul? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, why
The
Darth Maul?
dual lightsaber, and I got fucking horns on my head. He's just cool. I don't know his powers besides
He doesn't
that.
die. He doesn't die.
But
He gets cut in half, though.
He doesn't die, though.
I'm not saying he's dead, but he just got cut in half.
That's amazing. He just comes back as a half robot.
now, from
really?
my understanding, though, and correct me if I'm wrong, Star Wars people, but Darth Maul is, like, that wasn't just an exclusionary
Subtle
comment.
jab at me. All right. I see you.
But Darth Maul is, like, the king of, like, Sith traditions, right?
Oh, really?
Like, so he is,
Okay.
like, as Sith comes, and I think, like, with that probably comes, like, some caveats, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Sith are celibate, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know if I could do that.
I don't know if Darth
Jedi
Maul
are.
is
Well, Darth Maul could switch it up.
pulling in any. I'm not sure,
He's
right?
probably pulling some.
Yeah. So
He's horny, man.
okay, but you're also probably constantly training, or you're constantly at the whim of, like, the Sith Council, like, go kill Anakin Skywalker or go do, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have a lot of freedom as Darth Maul. Like, that's the only thing. Yes, you're a badass who can wield a cool, lightsaber, and that's awesome. But, like, I don't know. Like, for me, I think, like, maybe I'd rather be like a Han Solo.
But you said I can control my own destiny, right? At that point.
Well, the goal of the Sith Padawan, or whatever you call it, is to overthrow your master.
Yeah.
So that is all his training and everything's going
To be more powerful.
It's because that's what the Emperor even said when he took on Darth Vader, was like, he's going to be more powerful than me one day. He's going to take over. And that is Darth Maul's ultimate goal. So you're thinking, like, he's not doing 1,000 crunches a day just for the hell of it. He's actually going to kill Palpatine and become Palpatine.
Yeah.
Now, granted, it didn't work out that way. Spoiler, buddy. But just
No comment.
No comment.
I mean, that's what.
That's not my destiny, though.
That's right. You control your own destiny,
particularly not,
right? Yeah, you can do whatever you want to do.
But I wonder what his powers would be. I'm about to go look that up.
Look him up. While you're doing that, I think I would go with Han Solo. The reason being, like, he's the ultimate, like...
Good looks.
Yeah, suave good looks. It's also, like, he kind of, like, represents this idea of, like, the lovable rogue, right? Like, he is all freedom. Like, he has no responsibilities. Like, he's just a smuggler. He, like, travels the world with his best buddy. And, to me, like, that sounds really cool. Like, if I was going to be in the world of Star Wars, I would like to have, like, a position that allowed me to have no boundaries and, like, be tied to nothing and experience as much as I possibly can, board, like, a cool badass ship like the Millennium Falcon. So I think I would go with Han Solo, personally.
I mean, you get the princess.
And then I get the princess. I already got the princess.
But then you have a whiny. Then you got a whiny son, though. Your
Then I have
son's
a whiny bitch
ass
of a son.
And then he kills
CW looking
me.
son.
Yeah. CW looking son. No, that's true. That is true. I would have
to deal with that.
So yeah, I think that's who I would be. Now, what we're not thinking about is, like, I'm not even just talking about the movies, like the extended fiction and KOTOR and like all these other games and stuff.
Buddies.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
That just changed my whole outlook.
Buddy, let's go to you next. Now, who would you be in Star Wars, knowing that you're a big fan and have seen all of the movies?
You know, I really like space, so I think I would be a star.
Wow.
Jesus. Star boy again.
Fucking hates you.
You would just be a star, which is a planet. So you'd just be this big planet. And
Yeah.
I'd fly my ship into you.
Because I could shine bright, and you probably get to see a lot
what
of cool
is-
stuff out in space. Like, I could watch the whole war from a perspective of not being in the war,
Sure.
but, like, I could see it.
Can we delete that?
Yeah, we're going to go back and edit
So,
that out.
well, Darth Maul
You asked.
had a
Darth
dual lightsaber and was trained as an assassin. And then rather than a true Sith apprentice by Dark Lord of the Sith, Darth Sidious. Oh, so he was trained by Darth Sidious.
Darth Sidious.
Yeah.
Can I be the stormtrooper that hits its head on the door?
Yeah, wow, buddy, good call. Why do you know that? Why do you
What
know
episode's
I think I've
that?
seen that clip.
That's A New Hope. It's just a deleted. No, it's actually in the scene, but
I feel like
I
that
was
would be
asking
me.
him.
If I were a stormtrooper, that would be me.
that would probably be you. You're kind of a tall guy.
You'd
Yeah.
probably be like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Wall. I'm starting to mean to hit
I'd
you.
apologize. I'd buy it a fruit basket.
Be like, guys, can we try that entrance again? Okay, so Wyatt.
All right, so in my top 5 favorite movies of all time are mafia movies. So I like Goodfellas and I like Casino. And I don't know if I envision or like want to be a mafia don or something.
Gotta be
but
honest,
I
really excited
love
to see
that.
where you're going with this.
But what's better than being like a mafia don than being a sci-fi mafia don? So I think Jabba the Hutt would be who I would. He's a gangster. I mean, he's
Gangster.
straight up a gangster who owns planets.
Would you slim
basically,
down?
in the outer rim? So he's outside of the Republic. He's just not governed by them, and so why he's so powerful? He's like. Pod racing, he's like fixing those things, and he's smuggling shit. And yeah, maybe I get eaten by a fucking pit in the desert. No, he doesn't die.
Sure,
no,
no.
I get choked by Princess Leia, don't I?
gets
Right,
killed by
buddy?
Princess
You get
Leia.
choked
That's
by
right.
Princess Leia.
Yep, through your fat.
But how would you like change? Would you like slim down?
Yeah, maybe
as
go on a
Jabba?
diet or something.
Yeah.
like
Why would
that.
I? Hey, did you see his hot wife in the Phantom Menace? He's got a hot
I don't
warm
know.
wife.
I'm just asking. I don't know. You're
Maybe
choosing
a
your
couple
destiny.
wife is not wifes. And then I have a couple slaves on
Ooh. 2017.
But at the same time, like, I mean, that's why I kind of think he's kind of really cool. I really wish that when they do the Han Solo spinoff, that he's such an influential character. I hope they maybe bring him into the mix
Sorry,
there.
everybody. I gotta just silence all these electronics.
So I think that's really what I would go with.
Could you
just-
imagine like a really fit though, like Jabba the Hutt, like
What does he
Jabba
look
just,
like?
like
hits
a
the
worm
gym?
with pecs?
He looks like the kangaroo. Have you guys seen that kangaroo? Like the ripped kangaroo?
Oh, I have seen that.
Yeah,
ripped
he'd
kangaroo.
be like that without legs.
Kangaroo Jack?
Sure.
Yeah,
You've probably seen that movie.
More like-
have.
kangaroo jacked.
Kangaroo Jack.
All right.
Okay.
But that's where I would go because I
Jabba.
love
Sounds like one of my
like
jokes.
the '40s gangster movies, and I think a
Jabba
sci-fi
reminds you of
one.
that?
Oh, yep. That's
I'm
what he
just
is.
asking.
He's a straight up gangster. That's what he is. I mean,
He's like Al Capone, but a
he
giant
is,
worm.
Yeah, he's an Al Capone of the sci-fi era.
He's got to have diabetes. You know what I mean?
Do
Like,
worms have
I
diabetes?
don't. I don't. I mean,
They die from
maybe
salt.
he is physically fit for that race. I don't know what that race is called, but maybe he is actually physically fit for all I know.
He might do the commercials.
For like Jenny Craig.
No, like, do you have diabetes? I test my blood sugar and I check it
Why
out.
does he have a hillbilly accent?
Well, haven't you ever
No,
seen all the
you've-
famous
you've
commercials?
seen all the Star Wars movies, so give us your Jabba the Hutt impression.
Do you have diabetes?
Perfect.
pretty good, yeah.
That's
It's
good.
pretty good.
It's good there. It's like Elvis.
So are you sticking with Darth Maul then? So we got
Yeah. Well, I looked up some other things too, and he has like, what's that? The Emperor, where he shoots lightning out of his hands too.
let's call it lightning.
Lightning.
Hands.
Lightning.
Yeah.
Lightning
You got
hands.
it right.
Force lightning.
Force lightning. Yeah, that's what it's called. So yeah, I would still be him, and I would overthrow.
I think when he becomes, so he gets sliced in half and he actually crawls himself to safety and then becomes a cyber. But I think he actually has like 4 legs, kind of like a big spider thing.
Oh yes,
Four
with 4
legs.
legs.
It was in
alright.
I
It was in
think,
the Clone Wars.
but I know he becomes a half robot, half human, or
Is
half
he
whatever,
half whatever? Yeah. No, I think Darth Maul was an awesome villain.
It is
to put in the first one.
It is the best lightsaber scene of all of them. Have you seen that video of this
Owen
guy
Wilson.
that? Oh yeah, he changes all the lightsaber sounds to
Wow.
yeah
Wow.
to Owen Wilson saying "wow." It is so
It's amazing.
funny. It is.
It's
so
on the
funny.
tubes.
Yeah.
Now, as Darth Maul, you probably wouldn't be able to wear a lot of hats. Is that okay?
I wasn't expecting to wear a hat. You know, I was just gonna let the horns show
Okay.
and let
Yeah, I
them
guess-
fly free.
yeah, really. You gotta let him fly.
I didn't realize you were
free.
so horny, Blake.
All
All right, so
You didn't know that.
that is so we got Darth Maul sitting at the table with Han Solo, Jabba the Hutt, and a star. So
He's
Star,
the
and
planet.
it's also the stormtrooper that hits his head on the door.
let's go with that guy,
All right, that's
Okay.
fine.
What's his name? Tim.
Tim. Probably.
Okay.
Tim,
cool,
the
Tim.
stormtrooper.
Tim, the stormtrooper.
All right, next topic, Wyatt.
So I have one short announcement, but first thing I want to talk about
getting married.
is
You're pregnant.
no, no.
You're
You have
gay.
diabetes.
one thing is R.I.P. George A. Romero.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have heard, but George A. Romero just died recently of lung cancer. I believe at 77. For those of you who don't know, George A. Romero is like, he didn't invent zombies, but he is pioneered them to what they are today.
The grandfather.
Yeah,
of
like
zombies.
I honestly, without him, I don't even know if like The Walking Dead or those shows would ever have been inspired to be a creator.
Did he make that first zombie movie that was based in Pittsburgh? That one?
He made Night of the Living Dead. He made Dawn of the Dead. He's like, I think he's made 29 movies, and like 28 of them have been zombie movies.
Something was filmed at Monroeville Mall in Pittsburgh. I can't remember.
Maybe that's probably
That was probably Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
Which honestly is my... So I just kind of want to ask you guys, buddy, you're probably going to be excluded in this one as well. What if you guys have any favorite either zombie book, movie, comic book, whatever it is, what was your favorite zombie movie of all time, if you have one? I'll start. Honestly, I like the remake of Dawn of the Dead. I don't think it gets any better than that movie. If you haven't seen it... What did you say?
Who's in that movie?
The dad from Modern
Ving
Family.
Rhames.
The dad from Modern Family, Phil, is in it.
Yeah,
yeah,
Phil's in it. Ving Rhames is in it.
Who's that the big black guy?
Ving
What's his
Rhames.
name? Oh, Ving Rhames is his name.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then in House of Cards, what is his secretary or his right hand man's name?
Stamper?
Douglas Stamper. That guy, whoever that actor is, he's in
Michael
it.
Kelly.
Yeah, he's in it, and he's actually starts off as a mall security guard. At first, you kind of like hate him, but he becomes a fucking badass. But hands down, probably my favorite zombie movie. And zombie movies are so great because they're either good and you love them, or they're bad and you fucking love them because they're just so fucking stupid and bad. I do like The Walking Dead. It did get old for a while, so I'm just curious on what your guys' is.
Have you watched any new
favorite.
Episodes?
Oh yeah, I'm caught up.
You're
I've
caught
watched
up?
them all.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll say my favorite zombie thing, like we're doing it across all media and stuff, right? So my favorite zombie thing I think is Resident Evil. I really, really like Resident Evil, the game series.
Oh, okay.
Like when I was a kid, I remember like going over to my friend Danny's house, and his brother had a PlayStation. We played Resident Evil for the first time, and it terrified me. Like I couldn't sleep for days. I was probably in like 4th grade or something when I saw it for the first time, and I was so terrified I was becoming a zombie. I was sure I was becoming a zombie. I think that's when like my fascination with like zombies started, and I remember just being so excited to like continue playing that game. Resident Evil 2 was a really great game back in the day, and then they did the remake of Resident Evil 1 for GameCube, and it was just a great game, and the graphics are just incredible. I think even by today's standards, those graphics are still really good. They didn't have to like make any significant like space for crazy action or anything like that, because it's really paced, and you know the camera angles are fixed, and it was just like playing a piece of art. It really felt to me like that. That was the grandfather of like survival horror games and stuff, and I really enjoyed those games.
And then Resident Evil 4 was awesome.
Resident Evil 4 was great. I liked Resident Evil 5. I mean, it was different. I mean, it was like Call of Duty Resident Evil, but it was still really fun to play.
Brogan and I had a tradition to go see every new Resident Evil movie when they came out. As bad as they are, we didn't make it all the way, but we made it through quite a bit. Like I think the last one we saw was the one with the girl from Fast and Furious in it.
Michelle Rodriguez.
Oh, we saw that one, and it was cringeworthy.
Oh,
it was
so
hard.
bad.
We saw that, and we were like, I don't know if we can do this again.
I really, really enjoyed Resident Evil 7 is like in contention for me as Game of the Year this year.
Is that Biohazard?
Yeah, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, the one that came out this past year, was such a surprise. I mean, like switching like Resident Evil into first person and like how cool it was. It felt like the old games again, where you're like traveling through this labyrinthy mansion and you know solving these weird puzzles. Where the whole time you're like, who the fuck made this puzzle? Like, why is this puzzle here? And actually, I heard recently that they're going to reboot the movie franchise and make it closer to the games, which would be awesome.
I think that if they put it in the right hands, I think it would be fantastic. I mean, it's such a good idea. I think that would.
Do you know what studio is going to like produce it?
I think it's with. Oh, geez, I'm gonna totally butcher it, but I feel like it's with Lionsgate right now. It would probably stay with Lionsgate. I think that's the right.
Lionsgate do great gory.
Oh, it might be with Sony actually. Now that I say that, I feel like it might be Sony. Anyways. But I would say the Resident Evil series for me is like what stands out as the most like prolific zombie series. I also love the Dawn of the Dead remake. I remember watching that with you in high school and stuff. And I really liked Dying Light, the video game too.
Dying Light was fun. Yeah,
Blev and I played the game co-op for a while. I don't know if you guys ever tried it.
for a little bit. Yeah,
It's a pretty